So when we check the B Artillerist 333 core, DPS check in Trition is multiply 1%, meaning that I'm the 7k combat score and have the 0.7 billion DPS in Trition, so it is scored multiply 1. If combat score 6k, class have the 0.72 billion DPS in the Trition Luminous killing, it means multiply 1.2% in DPS checking. Then how many DPS the OP classes are having now is the new class, which is released recently, have the multiply 1.65 DPS in Trition nowadays. That's why users are mad about the balance. And OP classes normally have the multiply 1.2 to 1.3, which is S+. In near Arcana and Soul Eater have the 1.5 now. Top 8 classes have the multiply 1.1 to the 1.2. B artilleries normally known as have the 1.0 to the 1.1 DPS in Trition. And someone can ask me, why am I the multiply 1.0? I think you are the good player, but your DPS is 10% weaker than other YouTubers. Because I don't use many time in Tritions. What it meaning is, first, I don't know the appropriate cycle only for Trition because Trition cycle and real life cycle is normally different of B case and normally for the old dealer classes. And don't use many time in here. In here, the YouTube videos or highest DPS in YouTube is always used the many hours to the Trition. Why? For the all critical in main skill sets and many recharge and etc many some other things happened. And also my build is not for heist build. My in here for B artillerist, if you want to more damage, you should use the judgment rune, but I'm just using the wealth and quick recharge build for cover the missed case. So this is why I'm the multiply 1.0. So because of this DPS percent, B artillerist normally called as the bottom of A tier or A class keeper nowadays. Because there are many classes who have lower DPS than B artillerist, but they are difficult than the B artillerist, or they are the entropy, not hitmaster. Also, a top to the SSS classes, there are many classes which have the easier control and don't have any things that they should sink in damage, but stronger than B artillerist. It's why balance patch nowadays called really bad. Easier and nothing classes is strong, and very difficult and entropy class is weaker than hitmaster characters like this. High tier class have higher DPS but easy, but it's not end. The high tier class have more utility, giving ability, many push immunity, more HP and armor, good synergy, no skill motion delay, no entropy, etc. have many things. That's why nowadays balance code in a KR server called like the elementary screw patch, which make just OP. Each class don't have their own merit and demerit. Then what's the artillerist identity and concept when I started the Lostark in 2021? The gold levers was the directors. Normally, when you see the artillerist, which use the bomb as skill. So I think, this class use bomb, which is hard to hit, like the homing take the 4 seconds in the past. But its damage, it is hard to hit, but if you success to hit, you can give the big damage to both, like the warrior class. But it is the range warrior class. Also in the season 2 season, barrage mode is not used because its damage is very low and there is no class engrabbing related with barrage mode. So until that time, many users used FP artillerist and like the concept, homing and LA is hard to hit, but if you success it, showing good performance. And because artillerists have only one class engrabbing, B artillerist class engrabbing got reworked and B artillerist is appeared. There are many demerits. 20 seconds identity durations, but there is no on and off. There is automatic on, cannot move, no damage reduction system. W skill range is very short, not like now, and there are many other things, but I'll skip it. But these B mode have very big damage. Can feel as we using the leader bomb. Many users satisfied these patch directions. Also, like the concept in the past, artillerists don't have any utility, no movement skills, because that season we don't have the PHB skill, no movement skills, long cooldown space with bad motions. But we have the high stagger, high HP and armor, and we have many push immunity because we are slow class. Meaning slow and heavy, but have the high damage plus stagger ability and many push immunity. It's the concept, and I really like this concept. But nowadays, is artillerist is heavy? No. Their B artillerist just use the teleport. Quick shot WQWE take just 5 seconds, and before artillerist take the 13 seconds to the QWE and get out to the barrage mode. Use numerous kills very quick sync as it is just pistol. What I meaning is just for identity fulfilling, and in near FP use homing and air raid with 140% attack speed. There is no slow to the artillerist anymore. In 8 seconds duration buff plus missile also. There is no concept and identity to artillerist anymore. We cannot think artillerist as artillerist. It is just seen as the gunslinger in linear, just effect is different. But for identity, that concept issue, please roll back to the past? No. Then these artillerist class are dead. Why? With command, barrage cannot injure the boost damage even if there is the damage reduction, and gauge issue is happen. So they SmartGate give the gauge 50% reduction and damage reduction 50% patch, but it is not helpful linear because next blade is Echina which have the 3 stack system, not reduced. And Cult and Super CC system in late, after we got on the barrage mode, just get down and lose all damage is happen, lose the identity fully. So SmartGate give the A skill teleport to the BE and delete the Super CC system. But with Serika release, space gimmick is released, so A is not helpful. We cannot serve the gimmick with A. We should get out the barrage and also lose the damage identity. So they add some identity refund system. And here, artillerists get the most many rework time in the Lostark classes. But always rework direction is bad, always gate cap with class issue. I'm afraid what will be released in Belgardin, the new gimmicks, and what will make us reject one more time and repeat it. The rework, like, only serve the 50% and gate cap also. Then what's the artillerist users want to sing? Damage? Oh, if it is buff, yes, we will be happy because stronger means funnier in the game. But we know, without structure change and just damage buff, it will make the nerf patch at the next balance patch serving nothings. What we want now is biggest issue is counter and orb skill orb structure issues. FP case, because Napalm is essential in cycle but have the long cooldown, they cannot do counter in near. They can do the gimmick counters, but sudden counter, they cannot active. B case, there is no counter skill in barrage mode, so if we are in the barrage mode, we cannot do counters. So user want the for FP user case, Napalm stack system like the turret can stack the Q. So if sudden counter is appear, I can use the Napalm as counter because I have one more stacked Napalm like this. And add counter skill with damage 1 for the barrage mode. Because they want you hit the counter in barrage. Also, B artillery case. Normal skill full hit make the one transformation identity 100% for BE. Change it please like the they make us using in the past that gravity explosion is in your trash skill. But they make the other skill identity fulfill nerf and only buff the gravity explosions. That's why we use the gravity explosion skill nowadays. So please patch these directions. Nerf the gravity explosion identity fulfilling is understandable. Then nerf buff the other skills also. So we want like other classes, one missile can cover the identity fulfilling. Like the breakers, they don't need to hit the boost. They can fulfill the identity with miss it. Also, if they miss it 1 to 2 skills, it is no matter with the cycle. Like that new classes, B artillerist also can one miss it, can cover it, meaning both the identity fulfilling ability place. We want to use other skills in one skills like the energy field or want to cover the get out of the misses stress. Also FP case. Overheat arc passive node is essential but give really bad structures. There is no on and off, so please give the on and off ability, off ability. So please give the off ability and delete the option that when the overheat is end, make the identity step 0. It is really bad. FP is really weak. I don't know why this is happen. If these options is deleted, they don't need to use the Napalm. They can use the forward barrage. No counter issue is happen. It meaning that SmartGate don't have any thinking for the artilleries. If it is season 2 saying like this, please buff this, buff this, buff this. Or earlier, at this season, all classes have their own merit and demerit, so saying this, please buff all things can seem bad to other classes. But nowadays, OP class have all things, while all the classes have nothing, so we want to say, please give us at least. In near all class, OP class have or missed case, non-hit identity fulfilling, high push HP and armor, high damage, or push immunity. It is already happened to the OP classes. So please give a leader for the old classes, please. Not only for the artillerist, maybe for the sorceress, glaivier, or some other classes which have the very bad performance. They all want the not only damage buff, they want some structure buff that they can still arrive and playing the Lostark funny with the damage nerf. Thank you for watching.